On this episode, we're installing some gauges. Well, yeah, technically 2 gauges in one. So there's still no motor in the car, and that's okay. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Over there, I got some 41 Chevy truck hoods that have been base coated, clear coated, and so now they're, hardening up. Technically, I could pull them out, move them somewhere, and be working on something else, but I'm going to leave them in there for another day or two. The paint, it's soft-ish, and, grabbing it too hard will leave fingerprints and stuff, even though I got to polish all that off, but yeah, you see what I'm saying here. Transmission, intake, it's all lined up, ready to go, even though it's not time yet, but that's all ready to go. So what I want is, when I get the motor back in the car, assembled, running, one day. I'm gonna do it one day. So I don't want to have to be working on other stuff while I'm putting the motor together and putting it back in the car. I'm going to put the new gauge over here on my homemade gauge cluster. So I have AFR, and then I'm going to be running temperature and oil pressure out of the same gauge. The gauges aren't going to match, but they're about the same size. They're 52 millimeter across in the back. It's just the ring is a little bit different. And probably what I'll do is I'll buy the Glow Shift AFR and put it in here. And then I'll take this one out and use it for a test gauge that I can just wire up and throw in the car so I can work on other people's stuff. Because, tuning is important. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the cluster, the mount, and make my hole and get my gauge in. And then I got to pull this seat out, and then we're going to string wires, and that's it. But I wanted to talk about this Glow Shift stuff. So this is the pickup for the oil pressure, and it's tiny. And this is the pickup for the water temperature. So 1/8 NTP. This is going to screw into the drain plug on the block, and that's where I'm going to pick up temperature from. So the good thing is I already marked my whole location. I thought I could put 3 in here, but they're going to overlap, so technically I can only get 2 in there. But I got some other ideas for some other stuff that will fit. So one of these is power, this one, and one of them is sensor. So I can tap into these for my power supply, but the new gauge wants 3, a constant, ignition, and ground. So I'm going to have to add, I think one of these is constant, but that means I have to hook up a battery. So let's go make a hole. Yeah, so it fits right there. No problem. I'm going to put temperature over here and AFR over here. That way when I look at the AFR, I have to look past this to see this. So last time I used a hole saw and it was horrible, but I think I can use it to mark like that, or like this. The inside of the line will be the inside of our gauge, or the outside of our gauge. So I need to make a hole in that and decide how I'm going to cut it. Let's see how bad this bounces. Cool. Drill a hole, pop it in, cut it out. If I cut my finger off, I'd get more views. But I still have a finger. So a little bit of scratching, but that's okay. We can polish that out. And that's a good fit. Wait a minute. It goes like this. Whoo! Because these might not line up again. That's a good fit. That's a good fit. I don't like it that they don't match, but I'll be okay with that. This one has a hood. I mean, the other one had a hood too, but we could go like this. But I don't like that either. So, no. So we have to take these little ones off and put these big ones on. So there we go. That was pretty simple. So one of these is a 3-wire, one of them is a 2-wire. It's kind of hard to mix them up. I mean, you could. Yeah, you could, but don't. 2-wire, 3-wire. One's for temperature, one's for oil pressure. And then this one is power. So that part's done. I'm not going to pull off the protective plastic cover until it's installed. The good part is these connections are really small and they will feed through without much difficulty. The 3-wire goes to the front of the block, the 2-wire goes to the back of the block. So car is off, battery's connected, it has 12 volts. But here's what I've learned. Not everything has 12 volts when the car's on. Even though nothing's connected, still have power. Still have power. Okay, I'm gonna tap this for 12 volts. Constant. Instructions down here. We got some wiring stuff down here. And this one is 12 volts constant. I disconnected the battery. That's ground. Rounds and flats. I'm gonna go with flats. So this one, I'm gonna click in there. This one, it's gonna click in here. And then let me hook up the battery. Key off, key on, key off. We're good. Disconnect battery. So the gauges are wired. They have power. It's all good. I'll clean those up afterwards, but now comes the part where we got to pull wires. And I don't know if I showed you the last time. Somebody doesn't have any exhaust next door. Sounds like Marshall in that X19. This damn thing, I'm sorry, I don't know where it's at. I thought it was recording the whole time. Maybe it did, I don't know. It's GoPro. And they suck. So I take it back. They're both 3-wire connectors, but one of them only has 2 wires going into it. Temp is on this side, which when we turn it around means it's on this side. This is our connector for our oil pressure. It'll go somewhere over here. And we can pull the slack inside the cab. And then this is gonna go around. So there's a to right there. And then we'll pull the slack around. New gauge is installed. Oh, I need to take a picture. So vacuum, put seat in, and it's done. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day. GoPro, stop recording.